Hello, dreamers. I'm your host, Marco of Dreaming in Fashion. Welcome back to another episode of this podcast. And so, on this podcast, we discuss all things fashion. You're welcome to hit the like button, you're welcome to hit the thumbs up button, you're welcome to share, and leave a comment. You're welcome, welcome, welcome. So, let's start the show. So, first up, I know this topic is a little bit late, but it's something that I wanted to talk about since late, like earlier last year, around this time at the beginning of the year in 2024. But it's something that I wanted to speak about. So, just to start out, the first thing I'm going to talk about is Zendaya or Zendaya, however you guys pronounce it, wearing Terry Mugler fall winter 95 robot suit for the Doom premiere. Listen, that look was stunning, if I do say so myself. We just love Zendaya over here and what she brings to the table every time she's on the carpet at a movie premiere. Looking forward to seeing her in Euphoria that's coming up. I'm really looking forward to that. So just to expound on that, she wore a vintage Mugler number. It was full of metallic armor, set with silver panels, sheer plexiglass inserts. The suit featured like a corset style details that hugged the actress's figure, as well as built in gloves and silver heels to match. More cyborg priestess than sand princess, but still extremely, Doom, according to one of the sources here. Also, Mugler designed a similar custom pieces for the stars in the past, but Zendaya's outfit was just so happened to be the exact look that graced the brand's Parisian runway for more than 2 decades ago. It's quite a feat to obtain the pieces from Mugler archives, and even more of a feat to access this particular look, which seemingly hasn't been worn since it came down the runway in the 90s. So, that's interesting. So, I would like to expound on that. So, if you many of you know, I spoke about Law Roach, the stylist, her personal stylist. I want to know, how did Zendaya and Law get access to that particular robot suit? Now, we've seen many versions of that robot suit. I've seen Beyonce wear it at concerts, I think, something similar to that. I've seen the other day, which is ironic, I seen Nicki Minaj wearing something similar to that in a music video. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. But I want to know personally what type of pull Law Roach has to go into the fashion archives of Mugler and get that piece. So if anybody has the contacts to Law Roach, if you have his contact or if you have any information about how he accessed that and got that, I would love to know, because I thought that was more interesting. It's interesting that she wore the piece, but it was even more interesting that Law had that type of pull. So if you guys know how he got that, I would love to know. And, drop that in the comments and let me know what you think about that, because I thought that was very interesting. So the next thing that I'm just going to go into, I'm going to talk about, and it's Black History Month, so I want to honor a Black designer this month. So the designer that I would like to honor is Zelda Wynn Valdes, Black African American female designer. This actual topic was inspired by Amber Arese. I think that's how you pronounce her name. Sorry, Amber, but that's just how I saw it when I read it. So, Zelda, so she studied her grandmother's work as a seamstress and also worked in her uncle's tailoring shop. So Valdes began working as a stock girl at a high-end boutique around 1920 and worked her way up to become the boutique's first sales clerk and tailor. Sorry about that, guys. I had to get some water there. And she worked her way up back up to become her boutique's first black sales clerk and tailor. So in the 1940s, she was the first black fashion designer to open her own boutique on Broadway in New York City. The name of her boutique was Chez Zelda or Chez Zelda. Also in 1949, Valdes was elected president of the New York chapter of the National Association of Fashion and Accessory Designers, NAFAD, as the acronym for that, an organization of black designers that would be founded by educator and political activist Mary McLeod Bethune. I know you guys heard of that name before. I sure have in Black history. She dressed stars like Ellis Fitzgerald, Dorothy Dandridge, Josephine Baker, Marianne Anderson, Ruby Dee, Mae West, Eartha Kitt, oh, my favorite. Also Sarah Vaughan. Now, she also was an African American fashion designer and costumer. She is credited for designing the original Playboy Bunny waitress costumes. I thought that was really interesting too. In 1958, Playboy magazine founder Hugh Hefner hired Valdes to design the first Playboy Bunny costumes. Hefner commissioned Valdes to do the work on the recommendations of the magazine's promotion director, Victor Launes. And originally, Valdes' design had the ears tailored and the ensemble lacked the trademark bow tie, collar, and cuffs. So, first unveiled publicly in an early episode of Playboy's Penthouse magazine, the bunny costume made its formal debut at the opening of the first Playboy Club in Chicago, Illinois on the evening of February 29th, 1960. So, how you guys feeling about that? I would like to say and expound on that. That's very interesting. I had never heard of Zelda until I saw this post and someone had posted this, and I was like, wait a minute. I looked at those gowns, and I don't know if you guys know, I remember being in the 90s watching Josephine Baker. I love that freaking movie and looking at some of the stuff that Josephine Baker wore. So who knew that Zelda had her hands in that, and she also had her hands in creating those Playboy bunnies costume as well. I thought that was very interesting, and a lot of those early black singers back in those times. And when I looked at those dresses online, and you guys are going to see, if you're following me on Instagram, Dreaming in Fashion on Instagram, please go follow me. And if you've seen on the YouTube channel, I think I posted a picture on the front of the cover. I'm not sure. The cover art, I'm not sure yet, but you definitely can see the picture on Dreaming in Fashion on Instagram. And the link will be in the bio here where you can go follow that. And you can see the picture and some of the pictures and some of the stuff that she wore, which I thought was super like sexy. She made the women look like they had vavoom, you know what I mean? And it was, I liked it. Like, it was very well made, very well tailored to the women's body and giving them shape. And you know, back in that time, women wasn't allowed to be too sexy, but I always liked the 1920s, 30s and those era because it's more like the Hollywood glamour, Marilyn Monroe and all of that. You know what I mean? So shout out to Zelda Wynn. I thought that was interesting information and I wanted to share with you guys if you didn't already know, but that's what I'm here for, to share with you all my findings whenever I found it. So the next thing I'm going to talk about, oh, faithful Macy's. So I'm going to talk about Macy's. They're closing over 150 stores nationwide by 2026. Now, I think I spoke about this in a way before on another episode. I can't remember what in particular, but I freaking love Macy's. So they plan to close down 150 stores. So for some of those stores are underperforming stores, and they want to close them down by 2026. And part of the strategy is to revitalize the company. So closing the stores as a strategy to focus on most of its profitable locations and invest in the in its high end brands. Now, one of the high end brands that is there, of course, is Karl Lagerfeld. I do like Karl Lagerfeld. And then, from my understanding, they used to have INC in there, but they've changed the name of INC to something else. I can't recall what they changed it to, but I do love INC, and I hate that they changed that brand because I actually wear that brand, and I actually wear Lagerfeld too. I just hate that they don't have that brand anymore in Macy. So, hey, that's kind of sad that they're closing. So some other reasons for closures, they said that they had declining sales. They were struggling with those sales. Want to shift to more online shopping. More Americans are shopping online now. Of course, we all are, and fewer visiting malls. I still like to go to a good mall and just to get my hands on the clothes, to feel it, see it, try it on before I buy it, because we all know about the thing where you be like, this is what I ordered and this is what I got. I don't want to be a victim of that. You know what I mean? So, yes, I would like to go to the mall sometimes and try on my things before I purchase them. Yes, I'm still old school like that. Hey, that's just my thing. So, also another point, the reason why they said that they were closing, because of the competition from other retailers. So other retailers are also closing stores. So I guess they're just like following trends with other retailers that are closing. And I don't know one is particular. I know a lot of retailers that are closing that aren't clothing stores, but Macy's is pretty much been a staple. Oh, I do know one. I've seen J.C. Penney's closed, some J.C. Penney stores closed before, and Sears. But those are little older brands and have an older model and different things like that. But Macy's, if you're out there, the CEO, and if you're listening, please bring back the brand. Well, it wouldn't be Macy's. It would probably be the buyer of that brand. I'm sorry, Macy's, but yes, I do love INC. Macy's, good luck. I'm rooting for you. The next thing that I would like to talk about is going to be Mr. O. Tommy Hilfiger. So, last year sometime, Tommy Hilfiger said he believes women look terrible wearing baggy jeans. Says he's like something more form fitting. This is what the article said, and I'm just going to read the article to you guys and read what it says, and I want you to hear what he says. He said, I want to see something form-fitting on women's frames. It should be more fit and feminine, or a little bit tighter in the hips, he told Page Six. Hilfiger, who is known for his preppy design, told the publication he enjoys the Florida town's colorful fashion, Florida, and he says, not noting that it's a stark change from New York's fashion scene. Okay, Florida and New York, yeah, that's a big difference. I've lived in Florida before. In Florida, they have fashion, but they don't have fashion. And if you live in Florida, you understand what I mean. It's a big difference from New York. So he also says in New York, we like to wear a lot of black. He explained. He said, my clothes actually sell better in Florida, California, Texas, places like that. A lot of tourists are buying my clothes in New York and they take them back from wherever they come from. Now, he also says that it says that furious fashion lovers took to X, and they were mad, formerly known as Twitter, to express their anger over the denim opinion on his denim opinions. So one of them said, "How dare you say that to a woman looking terrible in baggy jeans? Who the F asked you for your opinion?" One user raged. "You look like a Muppet wearing a blue velour suit. You look ridiculous. Can we say dumb and dumber?" Oh, that was a little read. Now, I did see that blue velour suit. I did see that velvet suit. I do love blue. I do love velvet. I thought it is kind of Cookie Monsterish, but I like the blue suit. I do like the blue velvet suit. Maybe just not on him, but I do like that blue velvet suit. The color is stunning. But since we're talking about this, and we all know that the Super Bowl just happened with Kendrick Lamar, right? And Kendrick Lamar had on some flare jeans where the legs were more fitted. Well, I wouldn't say flare, they were more boot cut jeans. They were tight in the hips and they flared at the bottom. I don't know, but I don't want to like tell my age, but I'm going to say this. I remember being in the 90s having my boot cut jeans, or maybe it was that the early 2000s or the late 90s, early 2000s, whatever time frame it was. I remember wearing both I remember wearing the really baggy jeans that were really big that some I see people wear, and then I also wore the boot cut jeans. My favorite, I would say, may have been the wider leg jeans because you could do more with those, I guess. But then, okay, but back, I'm getting off topic here. Back to Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar wore those jeans, and I thought they looked phenomenal. They were by Celine, which were $1,200, I think. Okay, I'm gonna get back to the women wearing those flare jeans or baggy jeans. I want to hear you guys thought. I read that one reader's comments about them, but I recently saw some, like I said, wide leg pants, and I was like, oh, I like that. And I'm a millennial. I'm still stuck on my skinny jeans. Hey, but I'm trying to get out of that phase. I'm trying to expand my wardrobe. I would definitely love some wide leg pants that would be like original, and dope and unique. You know what I mean? But hey, Tommy, Some women are not liking that you don't like that they want to wear baggy jeans. Now, oh, let me just go back to this before I move on from this topic. What about Tyler? Oh, make me sweat, make me water. Miss Tyler, she make baggy jeans look so sexy. It's always almost reminiscent of Aaliyah, remember? So who says that baggy jeans can't be sexy? It's all about the styling and how you wear them. That's just my point of view on it. This is my take. So I'm gonna move on. Speaking of styling, sexy, and all of those things, we're gonna move on to Jules Smith. Beyonce's nephew. He walked the Versace fashion show for Milan Fashion Week. Now, here's just some random facts that I looked up about him that I thought were very interesting. First of all, he's a Libra. I gagged at that. Um, he walked the Raul Lopez Lure Fall 2024 show in Brooklyn. He also graced the runway of well-renowned designer Donatella Versace in the fall of 2024 in Milan. And he's also walked for Jill Sanders, or Jill Saunders, however you say that. So I saw Jules, and I've been seeing Jules all over the internet since then. That was in 2024. We're now in 2025. I just saw him the other day on the show. Actually, it was just today before I recorded this podcast, him walking the show, and I was like, "Oh, okay, Jules, you're on the scene." I, I'm proud of Jules. He's getting more confident. I watched the video of him talking about when he's walking on the runway. He says that he's in like a zone, and he's just like, I'm in a tunnel vision. He said, I'm in a zone. I'm not smiling. He said, I'm serious. And I'm just like shocked that he's really just doing his thing out here in this fashion world and on these catwalk streets. You know what I mean? Um, it's really good to see Jules just finding his own lane and not living in the shadow of his aunt or his mother. He's just doing his own thing. And I think it suits him because he is a Libra. We do love fashion. Team Libra over here. We do love fashion again. I'm glad to see him out here doing his thing. I think it's a perfect spot for him to be. He has the looks. He has the walk. I think he has his own personal style from just what I've just watched on Instagram. Not really 100% sure because most of the time he's just like, oh, I'm in between shows and traveling and different things like that. But we love Jules over here, and shout out to Jules for making it to those runways and doing his thing. We're gonna move on since we're in the music, kind of like a music fashion sector. I'm gonna move on to my next topic. This is a good segue. Pharrell Williams. So Pharrell Williams is previews the new Louis Vuitton collab with Timberland. I'm gonna read some information on these Timberlands, which I would have looked them up and I would have looked at them and I was like, okay, yeah, I want to hear you guys' opinion about these shoes, but I'm just gonna read some stuff about those particular shoes for you all, and we're gonna go from there. So, world famous bootmaker Timberland, renowned for its iconic wheat colored premium 6-inch waterproof boots, is celebrated as proof of fashion stable for the casual workwear look, excuse me. It says, in light of its recent 50-year anniversary, the classic design by beloved New Yorkers has been famously worn by hip-hop pioneers like Wu-Tang Clan, Jay-Z, transitioning from baggy styles to slimmer silhouettes, and back again to oversized over the decades. See, there's that oversized thing. Again, remember I just spoke about oversized and baggy, but Mr. Tommy said that he didn't like, right? And then it also goes on to say Louis Vuitton released a capsule collection devoted to the workwear at the core of Paris to VA, the Fall Winter 2024 men's show by Pharrell Williams. The collection explores the American Western workwear origins through Louis Vuitton craftsmanship, blending elegance, utility, and comfort. Williams continued to combine his love for music, fashion, and sustainability, inspiring others to prioritize cultural, environmental, and humanitarian sentiments. So, also, the Louis Vuitton and Timberland collaboration includes the LV 6-inch boot reimagined through Louis Vuitton creative lenses crafted in their Italian shoe atelier. This boot is available in premium supply Italian nubuck leather. Okay, I'm gonna stop right there. I've never heard of nubuck leather. I had to go look it up. And when I looked it up, I was like, okay, that's interesting. It says it's well insulated and it's waterproof, with insulation and waterproof constructions. Okay. Also, it says an amplified version of the 6-inch silhouette. This includes 5 different forms. These include an ankle boot, a ranger boot with lace hooks and strap details, pulled mid boot with brown leather ankle boots, and harnesses boot with side buckles. They said they're all available in wheat or black nubuck leather. Okay, nubuck leather. That is an interesting name for that. I saw these boots. I think that they're dope. I love Timberland. When I lived in New York for a short spell, even not living in New York, you see Timberland, you see that brand. I get, Pharrell, he just wanted to reimagine the boots, and I guess in his own vision of what he thought workwear should look like, but in a more fashionable way. Where you can go from Paris to Virginia, right? I guess. But anyway, Pharrell Williams, thank you for collaborating with Timberland and bringing the people Timberlands. I guess that's what they wanted. Now I'm gonna move on to my next person I want to talk about in the fashion industry. I'm gonna talk about Miss Naomi Campbell. Yes, iconic supermodel Naomi Campbell. So I know many of you guys heard about this. You saw it on the internet, the blogs, and different things like that. But I'm just going to go into a little bit of details about it and give my commentary. And I want to hear what you guys think about this subject because it's very interesting. Naomi Campbell spent charity funds on luxury hotel rooms, spa treatment, and cigarettes. Oh, bitch. So supermodel Naomi Campbell is to appeal against her ban on being on the charity trustee, claiming that a fake email address was used to impersonate her and gave false imprisonment of her involvement. So we're gonna talk about that really quick. So we all know that this is the era and the time of scams. I recently just got an email about a collaboration, and it looked so real to me. I had to go do a little bit of research, and I Googled if anybody else had got scammed by this company. I'm not going to say their name because I'm not going to put them out there like that, but they were using a Gmail account, and that's what made me think, be like, yeah, you're not real. You're scamming for talking about collaboration. And on top of that, you want me to send you money? Yeah, not happening. But I'm back to my story. So, September 2024, the 50-year-old was banned from being a charity trustee for 5 years after a UK watchdog found a mismanagement of charity funds at Fashion for Relief, which she founded. The model's representatives claimed some documents submitted to an inquiry by the Charity Commission gave a misleading impression of her role in running the UK charity. They claimed there were evidence of fake emails account which they said was used to impersonate Campbell in communication with lawyers. As a result, they said she was therefore not made aware of the allegations being made in the watchdog's inquiry and did not have the opportunity to answer them. The Charity Commission inquiry found that money raised was being spent on luxury hotels, spa treatments, cigarettes, and security. At the time, Campbell, she was extremely concerned by the findings and added that she was not a person in control of the charity. Hey, if she wasn't in control, she wasn't in control, right? How was she supposed to know what was going on? But so her case was supposed to be coming before a tribunal on February 7th. That has already passed. In a statement on Wednesday, Campbell said she wants to ensure those responsible are held accountable and justice be done. Well, y'all better leave Naomi alone. I know that because Naomi is about that life. Naomi, yes, you know Naomi Campbell. You know the story. I don't think I need to tell you. I think you know the story of Naomi, and I don't want to go down that road because I don't want to be saying things allegedly. Well, what things that I've heard, but I'm gonna say allegedly. Naomi did what she did. You know what I mean? What they say that she did. Um, I love Naomi Campbell. I love the walk. She's iconic. Hey, Naomi, I'm rooting for you. Her trial again was on February the 7th. I haven't went and researched and saw what the outcome of this was just yet, but drop down in the comments. Tell me what you think. You think Naomi Campbell was out here living her best life and giving what it's supposed to be gave at the spa, doing fancy hotels and getting her cigarettes? Drop down in the comments. Let me know what you think. Or you think this really was a scam? I really want to know what you guys think about that. Now, the next person I'm going to talk about, really not in the fashion industry, but he is a celebrity, and I just thought this was very intriguing and something that caught my eye, and I'm sure that it caught many of your eyes as well. So I'm going to talk about Benson Boone Grammy jumpsuit. Listen, listen. Who made Benson's Boone's Grammy performance jumpsuit? That's all I want to know. That's all I want to know. Who made that jumpsuit? Benson was wearing that jumpsuit the next day. He was riding motorcycles in that thing. He was doing some more stuff in that. I'm like, what's going on here? And why is he still in this jumpsuit? And I'm like, he grabbed his crotch, and I know his boys downstairs had to be smelly by then. If he's had this jumpsuit on since Grammy night, I'm sure he partied in it, he danced in it. Who knows what else he did in it? But I want to know, more interesting, I want to know who was the designer. I would looked online, guys, to try to tell you. Couldn't find it. Maybe I'll go look again, see if I can find it. But I want to know, if you're out there and you know who designed that jumpsuit for Benson Boone, I need you to drop down in my comments and tell me native so we can talk about it. Because I thought the jumpsuit was stunning. I love the light blue color. I love sequins. I'm a sucker for shiny stuff. Sequins, anything that has shine on the stage, we know we like things for the stage. And again, where did Benson Boone come from? He just came out of nowhere. I didn't see him coming. Hey, I've heard the song, but I didn't see the person behind it. And I started to look at his style. It's giving me Rocket Man. And we know who Rocket Man was, who it's giving me that type of vibe in the early days. But I like it though. And I guess with a little mixture of Elvis, I like it. Are we feeling the blue jumpsuit? The light blue or sky blue, whatever color that is? I like it. Benson Boone, keep doing your thing. I see you out here in these streets with your fashions. I will be reporting and giving you guys my commentary on whatever I see that he wears that I think is dope. So look out for that. So you guys, this brings me to the end of my episode, unfortunately. But look out for me. I'm going to start making more episodes as much as I possibly can when time allows. So remember to make sure you guys follow me on all social media platforms. You can find me the episode on you can find the link to the episodes on Instagram, Apple, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Podcasts, YouTube. Also, you can support me. Make sure you sign up on Patreon. Always. Until next time, you guys, keep dreaming.